with Beverly. And Beverly, tell me what you do here at the title plant.
I'm a residential examiner learning how to do acreage and commercial.
So you've been here a while, and now you're transitioning to a new position.
I've been here for just a few years, but over the past year, I've wanted to learn how to do the harder, more involved areas.
So what's the most interesting thing that you've come across since you've been a residential examiner?
I think that I'm not from the Houston area originally, so whenever I get into the older parts of town and look at the really old documents and the restrictions.
The deed restrictions.
You know, back in the day where they could only have certain kind of animals and things like that. I think it's pretty interesting and to visualize how they lived back then, what was going on and what was important to them.
That's really interesting. So are you talking about in the downtown Houston area or more out in the suburbs?
I'm not quite sure because, like I said, I haven't been here that long, but one area, it's around Buffalo Bayou, and that area, the older part, City of Houston, Houston Heights, it's real interesting. You know, the houses were so tiny, and to see what they paid for them back in that day and what they're actually worth now is real interesting.
So what were those houses on the bayou going for back then? Roughly, just a guess.
I want to say just a few $1,000s.
Wow.
It's a significant difference.
Definitely. So do you ever see any really old surveys that were hand-drawn?
I believe I have.
Yeah.
If I have, it was only one or two.
And how far back do the documents date? Are we talking about the 1800s?
Yes.
1800s.
I've had to look at some back then because, of course, you know, your first deed out may have restrictions that still apply, as old as it may be. Those restrictions might really still be in effect, you know.
Very interesting. So you're working mostly with residential and researching. So your day, what does your day look like? What do you do when you're here? Are you mostly in front of your computer researching, or are you having to go back through old records? What's your day look like?
Most of it is done on the computer, but for some counties, we have to go and look at index cards or old maps that are in cabinets, mainly Brazoria County. You know, we don't have a lot of records on computer that are available to us, but yeah, you just mainly sit in front of the computer and you're searching websites, looking, you know, to put everything together. And
so on one title policy, what's the average time it would take you to put together one transaction, one title policy?
I'm going to say between the time I pick it up and the time I actually prepare the commitment, send it out, maybe an hour.
Oh, wow. I would have thought it'd taken a few days. You're quick.
No. Those are pretty speedy. Some of them are a little more involved, especially the real old ones, where possibly people have died and there's nothing of record, and you have to try to figure out where are these people at, what happened to them. Those are a little more involved.
So when you can't track somebody down, then what do you do?
Normally what I do is I will put, you know, we have 3 schedules on a commitment. Schedule A will show the legal description and who owns the property. Schedule B shows the restrictions and easements and minerals. And Schedule C is where we show all of the monies and anything it would take to be able to sell this property. And what you would do in that case, if you can't find what happened to the person, you put title is vested pursuant to a deed filed so-and-so. And if you think the person's deceased, you say, we have been informed that they're deceased and this is what we need to clear it up. It's pretty simple. You just keep it real basic. What happened, you know, we need to be told or given documentation what happened to this person. And once we're given that, then we go from there. You know, there may be other things that are required.
Do you ever come across land that has cemeteries on it?
No.
No?
I have not done that yet.
Okay. Any other unique features that you've seen on properties that are rare?
Just the restrictions. I think they're real interesting.
Yeah.
You know, long ago they had to have indoor facilities and things like that we don't think about now. That's pretty interesting. Some of the more affluent neighborhoods, they really get real detailed in their restrictions, and that's pretty interesting. They'll just have tons of them. But I just like researching and finding out what was going on, especially the older stuff. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
What was important to them back then.
Very interesting. Well, thank you for talking to us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.